Redditors, how did you develop thick skin? I don't feel any connection to opinions of people that I don't know because I know they don't know me well enough to know what they're talking about. I played Call of Duty during the late 2000s, early 2010s as a child with a high-pitched voice. I've heard it all. At some point I realized that since nobody gives two shits about my opinion about them, I can do the same. And it turns out it's helping. Worked a retail job throughout high school and college. Are they going to pay your bills or sign your paycheck? No. FCKM. Are they going to wake up next to you? No. FCKM. Are they going to impact or improve your life in any meaningful way? No. FCKM. I'm not saying be a dick or lack sympathy. But people normally make 90% of their own issues. Self-awareness is 1000 how. If you do some work and figure out exactly who you are, and you are comfortable with that, and love yourself, nobody can offend you. How can you be offended by something that either isn't true or something you've already accepted about yourself and are working on? I don't get offended. I don't even feel emotional spike when somebody says something to me that would be considered offensive, like in an argument. It took work, but I got there. If you are willing to look at another person's behavior towards you as a reflection of the state of their relationship with themselves rather than a statement about your value as a person, then you will, over a period of time, cease to react at all. Yogi Bhajan. Childhood trauma mostly. Also working restaurants, that it'll do it. Don't constantly try to isolate yourself from anyone who rubs you the wrong way or has a different viewpoint than you. A lot of the advice in this thread is just, don't give a fuck. Which is unhelpful to people who have self-esteem issues. It's the same as saying, have you tried not being depressed? It's meant well, but comes off sounding real shitty. I like this quote because it effectively explains why you shouldn't care what others think. It's because it's never about you. I'm the youngest child. I roll around on gravel. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. If they're not paying your bills or improving your life in any way, who gives a fuck about their little opinion? Immersion therapy. It's less about having thick skin and more about knowing that other people's opinions really aren't that significant. I was born with bad heart problems that got a massive scar of my chest at 3 months old and always had to miss school because being in the hospital for being sick or having surgeries. Bullying happened before I even knew the word for it. Kinda had no choice. Pensive face. I aged. Easy to give 0 fucks at 47. My sincere advice would be, don't aim to develop thick skin if one hasn't formed naturally. Don't aim to let a rough world ruin your kindness and optimism. I teach middle school. I heard a quote once that said, when you go through tough times alone, you realize you don't need anyone to help you, and that stuck with me. Almost a year ago, it'll be a year on the 17th, and a year on the 31st, I lost my 2 best friends in separate motorcycle accidents. They were my only friends. I was single, and I didn't talk to my family at the time. I found comfort in no one, only myself. So now when people say shit to me or about me, I don't care, because I have myself, and that's what counts. Ride in paradise, you guys. Accept that people's words and opinions don't meaningfully change your life. I just tell myself it'd be like that sometimes, and it's instantly super effective. I got cancer and stopped giving a rat's ass about people and their bullshit. Like a muscle. Worked it out. I did enough dumb stuff in my teenage years that I had to learn to deflect flaming arrows early. I aged out of caring. Life will make you develop thick skin. Not even kidding. I don't know about most people. But I've been very close to experiencing homelessness twice. Both times. It was out of my control. Wasn't caused by me. Was caused by cold, heartless competitors. Life can and will put you so close to the edge of falling to hell. And you have no choice but to develop thick skin and power your way through. Beg for help even if you don't want to. Or you can fall and go homeless. Is other people's criticism actually truthful, helpful, or relevant to my life? If yes, well, time to do better or acknowledge I choose to suck in this regard. Which mostly still isn't a big deal. But it's hardly ever yes. Just some rondo flinging verbal feces at the wall and trying to see what sticks. Growing up, my mom was verbally abusive, so I'm just used to bullshit. Laying on the beach all summer. Growing up ugly and a minority made me tough lol. I was relentlessly bullied throughout my entire childhood and teenage years and built a resistance to it. Also trauma. Lots of trauma. Moved to New England. Getting older and not giving a fuck. I know the people whose opinions are genuine and looking out for me. The rest I don't care about. Life is too short to waste that time and energy. I got old and have no fucks left to give. Confidence. Come to the realization that the thoughts and opinions of 99% of people means fuck all in your life. Meditation with a focus on stoicism really helped me. It's about changing how you think about situations. Failing helps. The older you get, the less fucks you give. I've heard it all. I take care of my skin, that's all. I don't know. For me it was a few ways. All social media will give you thick skin, and this goes double for Facebook. My work has always involved people from different walks of life, so I took a lot of shit but gave back my fair share of it. Eventually one day you wake up and say fuck it. This is the day you officially understand people. Youth soccer referee. People take that shit way too serious. I didn't, I just learned to act like it both to myself and others, and gets me by pretty well. Stop giving a fuck. It's such a great relief. I genuinely don't care what most people think about me. Words only hurt if you give them the power to. Employ yourself like a mirror. Don't hold on to things longer than you need to. A mirror reflects things as is and holds no bias. I'm the eldest daughter in an immigrant household. Rosacea. I thought this was asking about actual skin. Work in an American emergency department for a couple weeks. Your skin will thicken and your heart will turn cold. Grow up in the Caribbean. Seriously, after all the emotional and physical abuse, poverty and crime during your childhood, nothing will faze you as an adult. Work retail. Call of Duty lobbies. Military. Prison. Being an addict and going through recovery. All of those things really broke down any barriers I had about myself. And now I give zero fucks what anyone thinks, as long as I know I'm not hurting anybody with my actions. I'm Generation X. Most of us have thick skin. I feel attacked by that question. Work in retail. I worked as a hospital peace officer. You deal with extreme psych cases, worst elements of the homeless population, and just regular people on the worst days of their life. People will say messed up shit to you. Medical receptionist. Reading the opinions of people online made me realize how worthless the opinions of most people are. And why should anyone care about worthless opinions? I was dealing with shitheads long before everyone had AOL. By not exfoliating, I built up extra layers of older skin. But you have to keep it moisturized or it's going to flake off. Apply the creams gently though.